What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over our official Glock tier list. You guys have enjoyed all the tier lists so far, so we're going to keep going through them. And just before we go into it, we actually have a giveaway again today. And it's going to be for an AK-47 Legion of Anubis in minimal wear. Entry requirements are as they were before. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment down below of your favorite Glock skin. The winners will be announced on Discord in a few days, so make sure you're in there. Best of luck, and let's get into it. Now, if you'd like to see these lovely giveaways continue, then please check out today's sponsor, Skinport. Skinport is the best marketplace to buy and sell your Counter-Strike skins. Whether you're looking for some budget gems or skins that you can flex to your mates, with over 1 million skins available on Skinport, they have everything you need and more. For example, this factory new StatTrack Empress is available on Skinport for 26% cheaper than you'd find on the Steam market.
I'll make that deal. On
Skinport, you'll find 0 buyer fees. For those selling skins, the fees start from 2%. Payouts are going to be sent in your local currency, and Skinport has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot from over 23,000 reviews, making it a trusted marketplace for you. For more details, check the link in the video description or pinned comment, and thank you to Skinport for sponsoring today's video. Now, you lose my beautiful face for this, just so we can actually see all the skins and the entire table. I'm just going to go through it as we see them here. So I'm going to start with a fade, and honestly, I'm going to put this in great to begin with. At the very end, we can review and change it around, but I think great is a good starting point for the fade. Obviously, it can be a very good skin. It's just not my exact cup of tea, and that's why it's in great. Moonrise is going in perfect. I imagine this is already controversial, but for me, the Moonrise is a perfect purple skin, basically, for the game, and it's incredibly cheap, so it takes all the boxes. High Beam is going to go into okay for now. It's a skin for me that I think it looks a bit better in CS2, but it's still nothing really to write home about. Then we have a Twilight Galaxy, which honestly is probably going to go into good right now. Like, don't get me wrong, it gets lighting effects now, and it's a decent blue Glock, but it's not quite got the perfect lighting effects that we're after. Either at the end of good or the start of okay. We'll put it at the start of okay for now. We're going to have the steel disruption. This, for me, it looks much better in CS2. Actually gets the lighting effect. If you're going for a black and white or like a silverish inventory, this is great. Also, with the lighting effects, we can already say it's definitely going into good. Dragon Tattoo is also going to go into good. This is one of the few older skins I actually do quite like. It is very subtle and very basic, but I like the dragon that's on it. It can't go any higher than that, though, mainly because of the price, because it's used for trade-ups. And because of the little lighting effects, it's actually behind the steel disruption. Gamma Doppler has to be imperfect. I have a Phase 3, I'm using an Emerald here. Like, even if you have a Phase 3, Phase 1, whatever, it still looks incredibly good. The only downside you could maybe argue is that it's not fully green, like it's got the black bit at the bottom. Other great skins for me are going to be both the Reactor and the Nuclear Garden, if I'm honest. Reactor is pretty much the best orange skin you're going to get, unless you sort of borderline into the gold area. And then the Nuclear Garden's great for green loadouts, and this, if you're not going for a Gamma Doppler because it's too expensive, this would normally be my recommendation for the next choice. Now, Brass is going to go into good with the potential to go great as we build the list out. It's very similar to the Fade. Actually, no, you're looking at it now. So, putting it in, it's going to stay in gold. It's not quite, in good, sorry. It's not quite a great skin. And you might dislike me, I'm actually putting a Bunsen Burner ahead of the Twilight Galaxy. When CS2 came out, one of the big things I was saying is that this basically looks like a budget Twilight Galaxy. It's been adjusted now that it doesn't actually get the sparkle that the Twilight Galaxy does, so we might rethink the positions. This is a skin I've never looked at in-game. It's the Grinder. It gets a lighting effect, but I think when you've got the Steel Disruption and you've got like the Dragon Tattoo, yes, this is pattern-based, I'm just not really feeling it. So it's going to go into the okay category. Ironwork is one of those skins that I think people will say I should appreciate more because it's more realistic, but for me, it's going into the meh tier. Water Elemental's going to slot somewhere into good. I'd say maybe in around here. This for me is, I'm going to call it an iconic Counter-Strike skin. It's a Glock that always comes to my mind when I think of like when I first watched CS years ago. So yeah, I think it's a good skin. Oxide Blade is another budget gem that's going to go into okay. There's not too much to say about it. It is a really nice budget skin, but it slots perfectly into okay. Bullet Queen, I'm honestly also going to say is okay. I don't love the skin. I think if you want an orange skin, you just go for the Reactor. This is just a little lacking. Now, we're close to rather use default, but the Weasel's going to go in with the Ironwork in the meh category. This is a skin that just kind of misses the mark for me. Like, the color palette's bland, the design isn't all that. Just doesn't tick my box. Catacombs here with the skull. I'm unsure if it's going into okay or meh. I might actually just change this around. Don't like the Grinder that much at all. And yeah, I think I've placed it correctly. It's just a bit mid. Rogue is another one that's I'm going to start in okay. It has the potential to go into good. And honestly, it might get that upgrade at the end, but it's kind of similar vibe as the Bullet Queen is for me, honestly. Okay, as I'm going to build this out, this needs to go into good. It is a good skin. Sacrifice is going to be right at the start of okay. Now, although the skin isn't great, I love like the sort of the memento behind this. It's paying homage to Olafmeister's like diffuse in the flames back in 2014. So really like the thinking behind the skin. I think if they did this now, it would look so much better. Off-board for me again, gonna go into the okay category. Really nice budget option. It maybe has a merit to get into good. We'll review it at the end. Obviously, when you go battle scarred, you get kind of Easter eggs with it. It's just a good budget blue skin. Umbra Rab is going to go into good in probably ahead of the water elemental for me. This is one that's very personal preference for me. Honestly, I really enjoyed this skin, but I know some people really hate it. Then Neo Noir, love it or hate it, it has to go into the great category. You get a nice bit of white on the top, so if you're using it without inspecting it, and actually the core of it looks really nice too. The pinks and blues come through, fantastic. Now, I don't know how many more perfect skins we're going to have, but I'm actually going to put the Ramesses Reach in perfect. For me, this looks insanely good in Factory New. The artwork's good, like the color palettes are popping on it. If you go battle scarred, you get an Easter egg along it, and it's just like gold and prestigious and looks really good with almost any inventory. Like, just, I absolutely love the style of skin. Snack Attack is joining our friends in the OK section. This is another one of those skins that I kind of like where the designer was like thinking. Like, I like the thought process for it. I just don't like how it's turned out in game that much. Wasteland Rebel for me, honestly, has potential to be great. I think it's getting a slot. This is a skin that started to grow on me a lot more recently. I like the fact that artwork says "kill them all." You're on the T side. You're running in, pistol round, killing them all, getting bombed down. Like, it just works really well and also the artwork style they've gone for the graffiti is good. Prepare to be annoyed, because I'm not sure where I'm going to place the Franklin. Yeah, for me, I find this one kind of cringe, if I'm honest. I think this is like Call of Duty, MW2, NLG, Dorito days kind of vibe. So for that, honestly, it's going to go into okay. It's definitely behind a lot of these skins. I would never really touch it, if I'm honest. Royal Legion, however, is going to go into good. This is a skin that took a while to grow on me, but I think this is definitely a lot more like realistic while still having nice in-game features. Then we have the Wraiths, where the only thing I actually like about this is the fact you get a little green highlight at the back, and this is probably going to be our first into the I'd rather use default. Winterized for me is also a good skin. I honestly really like the Winterized. This can be bought for pennies in like minimal wear. And for me, again, for a more sort of realistic style of skin that still gets a nice color palette, the grip detail actually looks really good on it. I am a fan of this. This is definitely a good skin. Yeah, I'm sorry, Clear Polymer is also joining the I would rather use default category. Then for the Warhawk, now I love this as a budget-friendly skin, but it's got the same thing going on as the Off-Road, where it's a solid skin, but it doesn't quite crack the good category. I always mention when we look at this is an insanely cheap skin. You put some RMR stickers on this, you're laughing, but it's not enough to crack the good category. Another one that I've not inspected in-game that much is this Blue Fizzer, or Fizzer, I don't know what you pronounce it. Overall, I don't have to say it much because I'm not suggesting it. So that is what it is. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's in the mech category. I think it's going into okay. For the mech category, Catacombs is going down. Snack Attack is actually going down as well. Now, Pink DD Pat, definitely a good skin. Not sure if it cracks great. Honestly, I really, really like this, and it is pattern-based, but I think good is probably the right category. Now, there's Synthleaf, which I think is a great skin. It's just stupidly expensive. This has the same color palette as the Aloha for me. I really, really like the color palette on it. I really like the color palette on it. I know this is going to be one that we might have some disagreements about. Some people might think it's not as flashy enough and take some of my previous comments about other skins into the same category as this. But color palette is great. I think with the right craft, this is a stunning skin. Now, we're finishing it with more skins that are definitely going into the meta, or rather use default. Death Rattle for me really doesn't do much. I would rather use default. The Knight for me has a purpose if you're going for like a really subtle inventory and a really specific theme, but I don't like the skin that much. It's going to lead the way in meh. I think this is a Groundwater next. Yeah, it is. And honestly, I think it's going to... I would use it over default, but... Actually, I've lied. This shit is like £7 or something, so I would rather use default. Candy Apple, however, is great. No arguments there at all. If you're building a red loadout, this is your go-to skin, man. It looks so good. It's really budget-friendly. Like, there's what's not to love about this. Honestly, I cannot remember the name of the skin. How could I forget? Because I'm pretty sure it's a Sanjin. Again, I would rather use default. And then we finish it off with the red tire, which I think I would still use it over default, but not by much. So yeah, it can go in the mech category. Which means this is where we finish it off. And overall, I'm quite happy with what I've built here. The perfect skins of the Gamma Doppler, the Ramez's Reach, and the Moonrise. Maybe an argument the Candy Apple could be in there, but I think it's going to stay on great. The Fade for me is not my favourite skin. I wouldn't buy it myself, but I know, like, overall, we have to deem it a great skin. Like, you can get the right feeder percentage and everything. It looks good. Happy with all that. Quite happy with the OK bundles that we've got. The mech category is bang on. Rather use default. And then we've got a good amount of good skins for the Glock. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you're hitting that like button. And speaking of hitting the like button, if you do, you can enter the giveaway by following an extra couple of steps. So giveaway, just to remind you, is the AK-47 Legion of Anubis. It's minimum wear. Entry requirements are hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below of your favourite Glock from Counter-Strike 2. Like I mentioned at the start, the winners will be picked in a few days and announced on Discord, so make sure you join the Discord, link down below, so you can see if you've won the giveaway and so I can send you the trade. And then also, just a final reminder, make sure you check out Skinport. They're the reason we can do these giveaways, so check that link in the top of the description or the pinned comment and go buy or sell some really nice CS skins. I said that one, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.